or Coretta to some. Welcome to Just One Touch podcast. I'm waiting. We're going to start our show in a moment with our guests. We have a special guest today. Come on. We're waiting. I welcome you. Thank you to all of you. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for sharing. Please share and follow and like. Share, follow, and like. Um, and tell someone about it. Share it. And let someone know that we are up. We're going to be starting in a moment. I am so excited about my guest today. Okay, let's get started. We're going to go right into the program. Love you. God bless you. See you afterwards.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, hello everyone. With me, we're here today. This particular session that I'm doing today is reflecting those African American achievers who are currently making history. And today we have Elder Kermit Williams. But he's not just a minister, he is a community advocate. So, how are you doing, Mr. Kermit Williams?
I am excellent, Minister Wynn. It is so phenomenal to be here with you today, and I'm just so excited to talk to you. We haven't had a conversation in a while, so this is going to be phenomenal.
Well, my question to you, sir, is how can we describe Kermit Williams for those who do not know Kermit Williams?
Well, it's very weird to describe yourself in third person, but if people didn't know me, I would say Kermit Williams is a fighter for the people. My whole life, I've been looking to make sure that the voiceless have a voice that can be heard. And so, whether that's through the gospel or through community advocacy or through legislation or through the political world, we've always had one mission trying to make sure that the least of these get heard.
Well, tell me this. You are very well known here in Pontiac, but throughout the state of Michigan. And tell me, what have you, as a citizen, you are a pillar of Pontiac. How did you decide to come into the service of community?
Yeah, so my first action that I can remember was marching with Reverend Price and the late Hubert Davis down Jesse Street. Right at Steed Park, there had been a killing that happened in the community. And so Reverend Price marched for 365 days. And so when I was 8 years old, my mother made sure that I was at the march and we celebrated before he died the 25th anniversary of that particular march. I didn't know at the time I would be marching for justice and other things in the community, but that's where it all started. From that, I went to fifth grade, and the first time I got kicked out of school was for not saying the Pledge of Allegiance. And that's because I didn't believe it was liberty and justice for all at the time. Now I do say the Pledge of Allegiance, but I say it more as a prayer that I hope that we can get to that place as a country. So those are the ways that I started. I literally thought I went to school for a theater major, so I'm glad to see you doing all the awesome productions that you've been doing. And on my way home from college, I met a man named Joe Woods, and for 2 hours, he talked about getting involved locally in politics. And so I went to a meeting with him, and out of that meeting, we started what was called the Pontiac Area Young Democrats. And After that, I became president of the Young Dems for the entire state of Michigan. While I was doing that, ended up running for city council. Became the youngest council person in Pontiac history and the youngest city council president my last term. And so through that, we then worked on getting a nonprofit called the Pontiac Policy Council. And why it started is because when our city went through the financial troubles it went through, we did not have a community center. And so we got on the ballot to get the largest youth millage passed in Pontiac history. It's up for renewal again this coming year, but it's restored over $1 million a year for youth programming so our kids can have an opportunity and a future. That nonprofit then started doing work around the county called Oakland Forward. And we just passed in 2022 the largest transit millage in Pontiac history because transportation is freedom. A lot of people don't know most of my younger life and my early adult life. Not only did I not drive, but I didn't have a vehicle. And so mobility is very important to give people that opportunity. And so in communities, we need to know and recognize the fact that when we give people access to quality transportation options, we expand their life exponentially. And so we've been doing that, working on that. Our work was recognized not only statewide, but nationally with our warrant clinics that we've been doing in association with a group called Growing Real Alternatives Everywhere. And so we've had over 250 people come and get their warrants cleared in the city of Pontiac, and that story was featured on PBS. So those are some of the accomplishments that we were able to make. But God has been in the midst all the way from the beginning. If I had to write it out, I wouldn't plan this journey this way.
Well, it's amazing. It's amazing. You know, you are, as they say, even though you a pillar, you are a child of Pontiac. You a root of Pontiac. So your heart is there. You have accomplished a lot in the short time that you have been in existence. If no disrespect, but how old are you?
I'm 43 years young. I gave my hair to the city, so most people think I'm 65. But we've just been doing this work. I've had the blessing to be in community service and community outreach and politics for the last 23 years. And I don't take it for granted because I believe that this is one of the mountains that we have to conquer in order
Yes,
for
yes,
our
that's true.
communities to get what they need. And so God doesn't have any hands, so He uses us in the earth realm to do these things. And I've just been so blessed to impact these people. One of my favorite scriptures, Minister Wren, is the fact that a false weight is an abomination to God. And so when we fight for justice every day or fight to get the wrongs wronged in the community and the fact that poverty is evil and being able to stand on that, I think that's what keeps me going every day. Miles Monroe says it this way at our nonprofit is we're able to hire young people. We literally had some young people who were between 6 and 20 years old actually stuffing mutual aid care packages that we gave out today at a toy drive in Detroit. But bigger than that, it's about being an example for the community that provides some access for young people to get involved. I believe
So,
that mentoring is more than just talking to folks, but actually making sure that their needs are met so their lane is a whole lot easier. Nobody ever crafted this path for me. I don't come from a political family. My mom, who's my shiro, has cerebral palsy, and we came from a place of low financial strength. And so to be able to represent Pontiac, I just recently ran for mayor and just had incredible support throughout the city. And that's because the people that we were speaking for really gravitated toward the message. But I want to make sure the next generation has an easier job and an easier time to get to these points. So I'm always trying to make the path straighter, right? Habakkuk says, write the vision and make
and
it
make it
plain
plain.
But the other part is that he may run that readeth it. And what's important is when you're trudging through that path, right? Because they say, God is a lamp unto our feet, right? And when
Right.
we're first going through a pathway, most of the time it's dark.
That's it.
And when it's dark, you walk slowly. You ever turned off the lights? You walk as slowly as
A-
possible, even
And
if you're
you trying to
familiar and
figure
you
out where you at. Yeah.
you're trying to figure out exactly where you're at, right? But if the vision is plain, or we take these steps, Minister Ryan, we are able to let the next generation run. And
Right.
so a life of service is about making sure that the next person that goes down a similar path, they're able to run and not walk in the dark because you've laid out a clear path for them.
That's true. But see, the thing is, sometimes you still gotta fall, and they still gotta fall and stumble. But the thing I want to ask you right now is, what would you leave your the young people right now today? What inspirational point can you leave them that will help them understand the importance of building and growing and moving in such a way of achieving, making a difference in their life and others?
The one thing that I know, and we're talking about African Americans today, Minister Wren, is we have never had success as individuals. If you look through the continent of Africa, you will see directly that they believed in communal wins. And so I think that for this generation, we have to get out of the mindset of I got to get mine, you got to get yours, but be able to build a foundation of community togetherness. I tell people all the time that the civil rights movement was started with four small churches coming together. And look at what they were able to do. Imagine what we can do today where we're connected by technology and other things, but we still really don't have that mass movement. And the way that that happens is if they realize that they can actually make a difference. A lot of our young people are hopeless, helpless, and held down because they haven't seen what they can truly be. And so the power of being able to dream, having the foundation that if God be for us, who can be against us, really the heart that they're wonderfully and fearfully made is the way that we actually change the world. So I'm very disheartened by what I see on the news every day, but I'm very hopeful knowing that every day is a day for the news to change.
Yes, because what's happening right now is going to affect not just the generation that is coming through, but those that are going to come after them. Because normally within a 10-year period, most of the time, the session of a leader who is in leadership in that position, it takes 10 years for the transition of what they have already placed and put in place. But we just have to be able to encourage our young people, and that's why I presented this, because our generation are making strides, and the generation that's coming after us need to know that every move they make is going to be a part of history. So we need to be able to say, make a difference in whatever it is that you accomplish, because down the line someone is going to say your name. And what is your
Mhm.
name going to mean in that time that that person who has never met you, never seen you, never will see you, but they will hear your name. So your name is very important. And I believe that's what we need to leave and inspire our young people that are coming after us to know that your name counts. You make a difference by how you present your name. What do you think about that?
I think you're spot on. I think that we have to be able to preach every day that you weren't created to be mediocre. And I think that that is the thing, regardless if it's civil rights, if it's sports or whatever. You were created for excellence, and so because God is in us and God is in this new generation, you're cultivated. Women are much better than men because they were the second iteration. They were the beta version, right? Man came first, then women. So now God is always moving to improve, and so your generation should do even more. One of the scriptures that really pops out to me right now, Minister Ren, is where Jesus talks about greater work should you do in my name, right? Not that we are going to be exactly like Jesus, even though we're striving to be there every day. But he knows that the fact that we're able to, he was only one, and we're able to link up and do other things is just a force multiplier. And so I think our generation has a responsibility to let people know, and especially young people know that this is their time. I think oftentimes we don't plan for successors, but if you look at every great person, especially from the Bible, not only did they have a successor carrying on their legacy, Moses had Joshua and others that they were able to pour into, right? But Jesus had 12 disciples, right? He was training 12 men, even though they were his peers, in order to do something. And so that is the model that we need to live by, because it's not about that individual success. It's about what are you doing to be phenomenal on why you're created. Why waste breath? It's so many of my friends and people. I go to funerals almost every week now, right? People are passing left and right, and they say the grave is the richest place in the world. We need to make sure that we're leaving our lives empty. And so, if somebody's watching this program right now, I want them to know and understand the time for you to do and start doing what God has created you to do is right now, not tomorrow, not being put off, not waiting to find somebody. But in order to do what you need to do, today is the day to do it, for you to get started and move. And so my hope is always that somebody will see Kermit Williams and say, I can do greater works because of the work that he did. He's already planted some seeds, but now I need to water them and make the increase. So that's where we're at, Minister Wren. We have to make sure that we are living a life where we're poured out for God and for our community.
It's very important. It's very important. And before I let you go, Elder, I want to say thank you. I appreciate it. You're doing an awesome, awesome job. You've been a great example to young men. Young men need to see young men your age doing something, and you are being that. I thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to speak with you and you being a part of this, because it's we talk about history. We talk about Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King planted a seed, and the seed he has planted, we are the seed that has been manifested from the fight that occurred 40 years ago,
Mhm.
60 years ago. So we have to continue that. You know, when a tree is planted, leaves fall. When the leaves dry up, it becomes a seed, right? And then another tree
Mhm.
comes.
Mr.
So
Ren,
we
for
are
not only
a part,
giving
we are the
flowers
leaves
while
that
people are
dropped
due,
from the
but sharing
fights
your
that
vision. And I know
occurred
you've been working in
in the
production many
1950s,
years. I'm just glad that
late
you're using your
1950s and
platform for good. But
60s
what I
and
heard out of what you said, some
early
of us, it's time
70s.
for us to shake
But
our
we are the
branches
seed.
so the
We are the
leaves can fall.
manifestation of
Some
that.
of us
Now
have been
we
holding
must,
on to good
our
ideas, good
trees
things,
have
and
developed.
instead
Now
of
leaves are
sharing them,
falling.
we've just let them
And
stay
we
on our
have
tree.
to
So let your
now
leaf
begin to
fall, let your
nurture
fruit
that
fall,
seed,
so people can
that
have
leaf
the next
that's
seeds that they
falling
need.
from our tree.
Hmm.
So I thank you. I appreciate you. And congratulations on all that you're doing. God bless you and love you. Any last words before we leave?
What I just heard you say, and thank you,